Live from New Delhi, you're watching DD India News Hour, India's voice to the world, with me, Deepika, coming up in the next 1 hour. India's diplomatic outreach in Operation Sindoor begins. First all-party delegation to leave for 4-nation tour of UAE and West African countries. External Affairs Minister Dr. Jaishankar meets with Danish Prime Minister Mette Frederiksen in Copenhagen, lauds Denmark's support in the fight against terrorism. US President Donald Trump unveils plans for $175 billion Golden Dome defense shield for US, says it should be fully operational in 3 years. EU, Britain go ahead with new Russia sanctions without waiting for Trump. Russia says it rejects ultimatums. Italian PM says Pope willing to host talks. And in sports, shooter Adrian Karmakar opened India's account at the ISSF Junior World Cup 2025 with a silver in men's 50-meter rifle prone event. A very good morning to all the viewers joining us at this morning hourly broadcast. To begin with the latest. Now, after befitting reply to Pakistan's aggression with the successful conduct of Operation Sindoor, launched in the wake of dastardly Pahalgam terror attack, India will begin its diplomatic outreach to further expose Pakistan, which has been promoting terrorism as its state policy. Out of the 7 multi-party delegation formed to reach out to the international community on Pakistan's nefarious design and India's successful anti-terror operation, first will embark for a 4-nation tour of the UAE and West African countries on Wednesday. The delegation, led by Shiv Sena MP Shrikant Shinde, will be visiting the United Arab Emirates, Liberia, Congo and Sierra Leone. Apart from the Susmit Patra and Shrikant Eknath Shinde, the other members of this particular delegation are Pansuri Swaraj, Atul Garg and Manan Kumar Mishra, along with opposition members including Indian Union Muslim League MP Mohammad Bashir and Sujan Chinoy. Another 6 delegations will also begin their tour in the coming days. The delegations will visit a total number of 32 countries till the 5th of next month to present India's firm stand against Pakistan-sponsored terrorism. The Indian diplomatic outreach on Operation Sindoor through all-party delegations visit to keep country partners will start on Wednesday, with the first of the 7 delegations set to leave for the UAE. TD India's Vinod Kumar files this report from Dubai. Take a look.
In the wake of Operation Sindoor, India has launched a major diplomatic initiative, dispatching 7 multi-party delegations to 32 countries. The aim? To explain the rationale behind its counter-terrorism operation, reinforce its global narrative and counter emerging misinformation. The delegation to the United Arab Emirates will start their campaign on May 21st onwards. The group is led by Member of Parliament Shrikant Shinde and 7 other MPs, which include Pansuri Swaraj, E.T. Mohammad Bashir, Atul Garg, Dr. Susmit Patra, Manan Kumar Mishra, along with former Minister of State S.S. Ahluwalia and former senior diplomat Sujan Chinoy. The delegation's 2-day visit will begin with high-level engagements in Abu Dhabi on Thursday. Confirmed meetings include interaction with His Excellency Sheikh Nahyan Mubarak Al Nahyan, Minister of Tolerance and Coexistence, followed by discussions at the UAE Federal National Council with Dr. Ali Al Nuwami and members of the Council's key committee. They are also scheduled to meet with officials from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and National Media Office. A media interaction with the newspaper National is expected later in the day, followed by a meeting with the strategic political affairs analyst Amjad Taha. A key highlight of the visit will be the delegation's outreach to the Indian community, scheduled at the Indian Embassy's auditorium in Abu Dhabi. On Friday, the group will visit the Anwar Gargash Diplomatic Academy for discussions with Director General Nikolai Mladinov, and in Dubai, the delegation will participate in policy dialogue hosted by the Fikr Institute and is expected to give interviews to media houses including Gulf News and Khalij Times. The team will depart early Saturday morning to Kinshasa, continuing India's extensive global engagement. This is Vinod Kumar for DD India.
And to get you more on this, I'm joined by DD India correspondent Akshay Dongre. Akshay, good morning. What is the significance of this very global outreach, which is the initiative of Government of India? Akshay.
Well, it's about setting the narrative, it's about clearing doubts and rallying support, global support, especially against terrorism. India's fight has not been against Pakistan, it has been against terrorists and terrorism that is not only impacting the region but the entire world. Pakistan remains a hotbed for it. It has been sanctioned multiple times for the kind of terror activities that take place or that that originate from Pakistan. So the entire motive of this large exercise is informing people, letting them know that why India had to attack the terror outfits and who these people were, how they impacted the globe, and how it impacted the stability of the region. Unless there is a pressure on Pakistan as a global community, it is not going to change its ways as far as using terrorism for its global policies as well as its diplomatic policies against especially its neighbors.
And also when we talk about the key message that it is sending across the globe, what sort of importance it holds globally? Because when we talk about this very particular initiative, it is not only uniting all the parties within India, but also sending a very strong message considering in the light of what India stands against the terrorism protocol, and it speaks louder about it. Akshay.
Well, the message is quite clear. The message is that trade and terror, friendship and terror, any kind of bilateral relationship and terror, sports and terror cannot go hand in hand. If you want to have normal relations with your neighbor, you have to stop terrorism. You have to stop terrorism for the global peace. And the action that India has taken, it's not our individual choice. We have been forced into it, and this is a fight that the world needs to fight. But India has taken the responsibility on its shoulder as far as eliminating these terrorists are concerned.
All right, thank you so much, Akshay, for joining us and bringing us the latest. Moving on, India's External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar expressed his gratitude for Denmark's solidarity in the fight against terrorism and for the warm reception he received upon his arrival in the Nordic country on Tuesday. The External Affairs Minister was received by Danish Prime Minister Mette Frederiksen, and key discussions focused on advancing the India-Denmark Green Strategic Partnership. This underscored both the nations' commitment to deepening bilateral cooperation and addressing global challenges. Taking to social media platform, Dr. S. Jaishankar said, and I quote him, "Thank Prime Minister Mette Frederiksen for warmly receiving me in Copenhagen this evening. Conveyed the personal greetings of Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Thanks Denmark for its solidarity and support in combating terrorism. Value Prime Minister Frederiksen's guidance to take forward a green strategic partnership and widen the canvas of our cooperation." Unquote. Earlier, Dr. S. Jaishankar concluded a successful two-day official visit to the Netherlands from the 19th till the 20th of May, underscoring the strategic partnership between the two nations. The visit featured high-level meetings with top Dutch leadership, including Prime Minister Dick Schoof, Foreign Minister Casper Waldkamp, and Defence Minister Ruben Prikkelsman, and focused on strengthening cooperation across various sectors from trade, technology and defence. During the visit, Dr. S. Jaishankar also interacted with representatives of the Indian diaspora in the Netherlands. External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar is on an official visit to the Netherlands, Denmark and Germany from the 19th till the 24th of May. The Beating the Retreat ceremony at the Wagah-Atari border has resumed on Tuesday after a 12-day pause. The retreat ceremony at the Atari border is a poignant emblem of national security and patriotism, featuring the traditional flag lowering ritual. The solemn event naturally captures the attention of the spectators. This ceremony increases the feeling of gratitude and respect towards the armed forces among the countrymen, and it instills pride in the country and new energy for serving the nation. However, according to the sources, some changes have been made in this drill as per necessary security measures after Pahalgam attack. Previously, the gates at the border were opened and the parade was conducted as a joint drill. Now, the sources said gates will remain closed during the parade and there will be no handshakes during the drill as well. Also, there will be no exchange of sweets or gifts on any occasion. Following Operation Sindoor, the ceremony was temporarily closed to the visitors. In the present circumstances, this program of border security force has been once again opened to the public so that through this unique display of patriotism, the bond between the security forces and the public can be strengthened and awareness towards border security can be increased. In a significant nationwide outreach effort, a Tiranga Yatra is being held in various parts of the country to honour the courage and sacrifice of Indian armed forces following the successful Operation Sindoor in response to horrific Pahalgam terror attack. In Hyderabad, Tiranga Yatra was graced by Indian Army officers and veterans who led the rally with dignity and pride. Throughout the route, citizens showered flowers upon the marchers, offering a warm and heartfelt welcome. In Rajasthan, State Chief Minister Bhajanlal Sharma attended the Tiranga Yatra at Jaipur with locals excitedly chanting patriotic slogans and showing unwavering support to the Indian Defence Forces for their bravery and sacrifice during Operation Sindoor. Speaker of the lower house of the Indian Parliament, Om Birla, attended Tiranga Yatra in Bundi, Rajasthan. The procession witnessed mass participation from people from all walks of life. They were seen carrying the tricolour and chanting patriotic slogans. The Indian Army has demonstrated its locally made defence technology during Operation Sindoor, which is a strategic mission along the line of control in Jammu and Kashmir. This operation, launched on the 7th of May after the tragic Pahalgam terror attack, highlighted India's growing self-reliance in military power. Using advanced artillery, the Army successfully disrupted enemy positions, forcing their retreat. Officials credit strong infrastructure, rigorous training and tactical precision for the mission's success. Notably, the move marks a major milestone under India's Atmanirbhar Bharat initiative, strengthening national security with made-in-India weapons and technology. Indian Navy will induct and unveil the name of the ancient state ship during a ceremonial event on the 21st of May at Naval Base Karwar. India's Minister of Culture, Gajendra Singh Shekhawat, will preside over the ceremony as the chief guest, formally marking the induction of the ship into the Indian Navy. The state ship is a recreation of a 5th century CE ship inspired by a painting from Ajanta caves. The project was formally initiated through a tripartite agreement signed in July 2023 between the Ministry of Culture, the Indian Navy and Messrs. Hodi Innovatives with funding from the Ministry of Culture. The keel laying of the stitched ship took place on the 12th of May 2023. The construction of the stitched ship was carried out using entirely traditional methods and raw materials by artisans from Kerala, led by master shipwright Babu Sankaran, who executed thousands of hand-stitched joints. The ship was launched in February 2025 at Messrs. Hodi Shipyard in Goa. The completion of the stitched ship construction not only reaffirms India's rich shipbuilding legacy, but also reflects the Indian Navy's commitment to preserving and operationalizing living traditions of India's maritime heritage. As Congress Party commemorates the 34th death anniversary of former Prime Minister of India Rajiv Gandhi, Prime Minister Narendra Modi took a moment to share a heartfelt tribute in his memory. Prime Minister Narendra Modi shared a tweet on X, and I quote him here: "On his death anniversary today, I pay my tributes to our former Prime Minister Shri Rajiv Gandhi ji." Unquote. Time to take a short break, but still to come on DD India News Hour. Many Amrit Bharat Station scheme railway stations to be inaugurated on the 22nd of May as India accelerates development in Amrit Kaal. India's Banu Mushtaq wins International Booker Prize 2025 for short story anthology Heart Lamp.
Swagatam to Andhra Pradesh, the coastal jewel of India. A state steeped in history. From the Gandi Kota Fort to the majestic Gondapalli Fort. A region known as the Rice Bowl of India. A holy land with rivers Krishna and Godavari flowing through it. Every part of this land tells a story of culture and devotion, and of a modern, developed, vibrant India. The graceful Kuchipudi and exuberant Dhimsa showcase the artistic brilliance of this land. The Ikkat and Kalamkari speak of the talent of artisans and their skilled hands. A cultural concoction that unites people in the spirit of Vasudhaiv Kutumbakam.
Welcome back after that short break. You're watching DD India News Hour. Now, India has taken the path of rapid development in Amrit Kaal under the leadership of Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Prime Minister Narendra Modi will virtually inaugurate 100 plus railway stations nationwide on the 22nd of May, including 5 in Chhattisgarh, which are Ambikapur, Dongargarh, Bhanu Pratappur, Bhilai 3 and Urkuda. Ahead of the event, Saharanpur station has been transformed under Amrit Bharat Yojana, earning praise from locals for its development. India is on a front foot developing all the railway connectivity of the nation. The Amrit Bharat Station scheme is a long-term plan to improve railway stations across India in a step-by-step manner. Under this, Gogamiri station at Hanumankar, Rajasthan, has been modernized by Northwestern Railway Divisions, costing 14.06 crore Indian rupees. The goal is to make stations cleaner, more comfortable and easier to use. In Maharashtra's Nagpur division, the Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose Etwari station has been developed with all the facilities under Amrit Bharat Station scheme. Equipped with state-of-the-art facilities, the station now aims to cater more number of travellers. Parking facilities with roads access have also been prepared for visually impaired. Newly built waiting rooms provide a better outlook while maintaining cleanliness. This platform redefines the travel measures for localites and other passengers. Hyderabad residents expressed happiness over the development of Begumpet railway station under the Amrit Bharat Station scheme. The station, redeveloped at a cost of 26.55 crore rupees, has been transformed into a modern transit hub with advanced passenger amenities reflecting Telangana's rich heritage. The revamped station, handling around 100 trains daily, is set to be virtually inaugurated by Prime Minister Narendra Modi on the 22nd of May as part of the inauguration of 103 Amrit Bharat stations across India.
As a part of Amrit Bharat Station scheme. On account of Amrit Bharat Station scheme, improvised international facilities have been provided for Begumpet for the passengers, like massive departure halls, number of booking counters, ATVMs. Special facilities have also been provided for the Divyangjans regarding the parking, their seating areas, toilets, and international level facilities have been arranged at our station so that passenger would feel elated when they arrive at a station.
This is a very proud moment for us, for which there are two aspects for which we can be very happy and very proud. One being the whole Begumpet station is a total women's station. Whatever aspect of working condition here, it is being manned by only women staff. It is either booking or ticket checking, the security, or each and every department is being manned by all women staff. Further, this station has been redeveloped with all the basic and advanced facilities to facilitate the passenger to have a very happy and an airport experience when they come and leave the Begumpet railway station.
Maharashtra's Shahad railway station has become a new home to luxury travel, what locals call it as a real success story. The station is now equipped with modern facilities under Amrit Bharat Station Yojana. It caters to almost 30,000 passengers daily. Redeveloped at a cost of 854 crore rupees, the station now has a covered platform, ramps connecting all platforms, improving accessibility for all, including senior citizens and differently abled passengers. The Amrit Bharat Station scheme signifies a concerted effort by Indian Railways to modernize its infrastructure in order to elevate the travel experience for millions of passengers. DD India exclusively talked with Dr. Manjunath Kanamadi, the Chief Public Relations Officer for South Western Railway on Amrit Bharat Station. Take a listen.
2nd of this month, that's on Thursday, our Honorable Prime Minister Sri Narendra Modi ji is going to dedicate 103 stations, redeveloped stations as Amrit Bharat stations across India in all the zones, most of the zones. In 2023-24, Honorable Prime Minister laid the foundation stone for 1,300 stations for the redevelopment as Amrit Bharat stations. Among them, 103 stations are being dedicated to nation in first phase. Among 103 stations, 5 stations lie in the area of our Southwestern Railway.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi will inaugurate 6 stations of Bhavnagar division developed under Amrit Bharat Station Yojana on the 22nd of May. A total of 17 stations of Bhavnagar Railway Division are being redeveloped under this Yojana. Take a listen.
वर्तमान में 6 स्टेशंस पे कार्य पूर्ण हो चुका है, जिनका लोकार्पण माननीय प्रधानमंत्री द्वारा 22 मई को किया जाएगा। इन स्टेशंस पर जो सुविधाएं हम लोगों ने दी हैं, मुख्यतः हम लोगों ने सर्कुलेटिंग एरिया इम्प्रूव किया है। दिव्यांगजनों के लिए ख़ास तौर से हम लोगों ने ध्यान रखा है कि उनको किसी तरह की दिक्कत ना हो। एडिशनल प्लेटफॉर्म्स की लंबाई जहां चाहिए थी वहां बढ़ाई है हम लोगों ने। प्लेटफॉर्म की ऊंचाई भी हम लोगों ने बढ़ाई है जहां ज़रूरत थी।
Madhya Pradesh's Narsinghpur is being given a modern look under Amrit Bharat Station Yojana, in the first phase of the rejuvenation being done at a cost of about 24 crore rupees.
हिंदुस्तान में 500 कुछ लगभग के अमृत स्टेशन में श्रीधाम स्टेशन को भी अमृत स्टेशन में सेलेक्ट किया गया है। लगभग 1.5 वर्ष से इसका निर्माण कार्य, सुधार कार्य किए जा रहे हैं। 24 करोड़ के आसपास लगभग इस स्टेशन को सैंक्शन किया गया है, जिसमें 10 करोड़ के आसपास का कार्य हो चुका है, जिसका फर्स्ट उद्घाटन कार्यक्रम 22 तारीख।
And now let's get you weather update from across the country. Indian Meteorological Department, which has issued multiple warnings for heavy to extremely heavy rainfall across parts of the country. Now let's take a look at closer look at the regions affected. The IMD has issued a red alert for South Interior Karnataka and coastal Karnataka, where residents are advised to prepare for heavy to very heavy rainfall, with the possibility of isolated extremely heavy showers over the next 2 days. An orange alert is also in effect for Kerala, North Interior Karnataka, Konkan and Goa, Madhya Maharashtra and Marathwada. These areas can expect heavy rainfall, occasionally tipping into very heavy showers. Moving westward, Goa, Madhya Maharashtra and Konkan region are likely to witness very heavy to extremely heavy rainfall in the next 2 days. In Mumbai, the IMD has forecast moderate to heavy showers beginning the 21st of May. Bengaluru is still grappling with the aftermath of a significant downpour over the weekend. Several areas saw waterlogging, vehicles submerged and homes flooded. According to the IMD, the city recorded nearly 40 millimeters of rain in just 24 hours. Now to the national capital, Delhi recorded a temperature of 40 degrees Celsius at 5:30 p.m. on Tuesday, local time. However, with 43% humidity, it felt closer to 50 degrees Celsius, making conditions extremely uncomfortable for the residents. But there's a silver lining to it. The IMD has also issued a yellow alert for thunderstorms, lightning, dust storms and strong surface winds in New Delhi. Light rain and thunderstorms in recent days have provided some sort of relief from the scorching heat condition, though humidity levels remain high. Heavy rain kept pouring in the northeast Indian state of Assam on Tuesday. State capital, Guwahati, recorded over 110 millimeters rain in several areas. As per Assam Disaster Management Authority, rain affected the areas of Rukmini Gaon, Hathi Gaon, downtown Sijuapura in Guwahati. The IMD has predicted heavy to very heavy rainfall to isolated places of Assam and Meghalaya. The Weather Department has issued yellow alert for lower Assam districts of Dhubri, South Salmara, Golpura, Kokrajhar, Chirang, Baksa, Barpeta, Bajali, Kamrup Rural and Urban, Morigaon, Nagaon, West Karbi, Anglong and several other districts in Upper Assam. And to get us more on weather condition, I am joined by Ritesh Ranjan from Chennai. Good morning, Ritesh. Now, amid the dynamically changing weather conditions there across the country, what is it that you are tracking from Chennai for the viewers, Ritesh?
Well, Chennai, from past Sunday, Chennai is, Tamil Nadu is receiving rainfall, and it is actually pleasant because it was a scorching days we have seen. And now, when the rain is coming, we are feeling a bit relief. But then it is a concern for some districts. There are, certain districts, according to IMD department, it is still going to receive heavy to very heavy rain. And there are 2 districts, including 11 districts as well as in yellow alert, and 1 district, which is Nilgiri, it is in orange alert. And there are chances that landslide may happen in Nilgiri. And there are districts like Nilgiri, all these districts will face heavy rain, but very heavy rainfall will occur in Nilgiri district. And that is what is more concerning, because according to IMD department, landslide may happen. So, but state government is prepared for everything. Chief Minister Tamil Nadu is, taking a review of all these rain arrangements, and especially Chief Minister Tamil Nadu day before yesterday, when he had a meeting with senior officials and senior ministers, he given guidelines to all the district collectors that to put up a helpline center which should work 24/7, and rescue and relief centers should also be there, which have all the basic amenities.
All right. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you so much, Ritesh, for joining us and bringing us the latest on the weather condition there in Chennai. Moving on, Indian writer, lawyer, activist Banu Mushtaq has scripted history by winning the International Booker Prize 2025 for the short story anthology Heart Lamp. Well, it is the first book written in the Kannada language, which is spoken in the southern Indian state of Karnataka, to win the Booker's prestigious prize. The book marks the first victory for a title translated from Kannada. The stories in Heart Lamp were translated into English by Deepa Bhashti. Lawyer and activist Banu Mushtaq will split the £50,000 prize money with Deepa Bhashti. Featuring 12 short stories written by Mushtaq over 3 decades from 1990 to 2023, Heart Lamp poignantly captures the hardships of Muslim women living in southern India. Well, tea is renowned as one of the world's most consumed beverages, second only to water. However, climate change imperils the tea industry, threatening to reduce yields and hammer millions of smallholder farmers who derive their livelihood from the crop. What lies in the future of this 19th century industry, which is facing the brunt of climate change? Well, on International Tea Day, here's a special report by TD India correspondent Subina Roy from the tea city of Dibrugarh. Take a look.
The tea which brews in your home is made from this Camellia sinensis plant, and tea is the second most consumed drink just next to water. India is the second largest producer of tea in the world. Assam is the largest tea producing state in India, accounting for over half of the country's total tea production. The Assam tea industry completed its 200 years in 2023 and it's famous for its orthodox and CTC teas, which give your teacups a bright color. The sector directly employs millions, with many more dependent on its ecosystem. However, factors such as rising temperatures, changes in rainfall patterns, soil degradation have hindered the green gold's growth.
Recently, the Tea Board has released the figures of March production. So, although we are ahead as compared to 24 figures, but if we compare it with 2023 figures, we are 20% down, and largely it is because of the climate change and altered rainfall patterns. So, it's impacting the tea industry at large.
The changes in climate also creates more favorable conditions for pests and diseases to thrive, thus increasing the reliance on use of pesticides. The impact goes beyond affecting the quality of tea, resulting in potentially less desirable flavors and aroma. The cost of mitigating climate change can impact the social facilities in tea states, along with concerns over working conditions also affecting livelihoods. Industry stakeholders have been actively seeking solutions to sustain the industry.
The tea industry is a huge labor-intensive industry, and unlike South India, Assam tea industry is perennial in nature, and our 60% of the production comes in 4 months, that is from July to October.
Climate change poses a serious threat to the tea industry, ranging from reduced yields, job losses, and high economic costs. The green gold's future remains in deep question and requires proactive adaptation strategies to ensure the sustainability of tea production, at the same time protecting the livelihoods of those who depend on it. Assam tea holds the prestigious GI tag, signifying the importance of tea in this region. However, future studies into climate change projections in northeast India indicate increase in temperature and erratic rainfalls, which may be a matter of concern for the livelihoods related to tea gardens and the economy related to the tea landscape of Assam. With GDK Dibrugarh team, Subina Roy, TD India.
We're heading for a short break, but still to come on the other side. G7 finance leaders meet in Canada over key global issues, Ukraine conflict, tariffs dominate economic agenda as well.
Geopolitics and trade deals. Economic challenges amid development. Hard work and the path to prosperity. It's the economy always. Between walkers, money is what money does and says. Supply creates its own demand. Between the bulls pulls and bears tears. When supply chains globalization and India rises to the podium. We'll get you centered with the economic brief at 8 p.m. every Thursday on DD India.
Welcome back after that short break. You're watching DD India News Hour. Now it's time to quickly recap the top headlines of the hour. India's diplomatic outreach on Operation Sindoor begins. First all-party delegation to leave for 4-nation tour of UAE and West African countries. External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar meets with Danish Prime Minister Mette Frederiksen in Copenhagen, lauds Denmark's support in fight against terrorism. US President Donald Trump unveils plans for $175 billion Golden Dome defense shield for the US, says it should be fully operational in 3 years. EU, Britain go ahead with new Russia sanctions without waiting for Trump. Russia says it rejects ultimatums. Italian Prime Minister says Pope willing to host talks. And in sports, shooter Adrian Karmakar opened India's account at ISSF Junior World Cup 2025 with a silver in men's 50-meter rifle prone event. US President Donald Trump unveiled $175 billion Golden Dome missile defense shield on Tuesday, naming Space Force General Michael Watlian to lead the project. The system, involving hundreds of satellites, is designed to defend against threats from China and Russia. Speaking from the Oval Office, Trump said Canada expressed interest in joining the effort. The initiative faces political and financial hurdles, with scrutiny over the bidding process and concerns over SpaceX's role. Key defense contractors Palantir and Anduril are also contenders in building system components.
This design for the Golden Dome will integrate with our existing defense capabilities and should be fully operational before the end of my term. So we'll have it done in about 3 years. Once fully constructed, the Golden Dome will be capable of intercepting missiles even if they are launched from other sides of the world and even if they are launched from space. I'm also pleased to report that the One Big Beautiful Bill will include $25 billion for the Golden Dome to help construction get underway. That's the initial sort of a down deposit. And we have probably, you're talking about, General, we're talking about $175 billion total cost of this when it's completed.
The United Nations said on Tuesday that no aid has yet been distributed in Gaza Strip, a day after Israel allowed limited humanitarian deliveries to resume after an 11-week blockade. UN spokesperson Stephen Dujarric said 4 trucks of baby food were dropped off on the Palestinian side of the border on Monday, and that a few dozen trucks with other basic items entered Gaza on Tuesday. UN humanitarian chief Tom Fletcher said earlier that 14,000 babies would die in Gaza in the next 48 hours if aid supplies don't reach them. In response, Israel said around 108 trucks had been transferred to the Gaza Strip, and it plans to intensify military operations against Hamas and to control the whole of Gaza. The UK has paused trade negotiations with Israel over the country's aid blockade in Gaza. It comes after the UN warned 14,000 babies could die in the next 48 hours if the blockade of the enclave continues. British Foreign Secretary David Lammy said the threat of starvation is hanging over hundreds of thousands of civilians in Gaza. Addressing MPs, Lammy said the UK is suspending negotiations with the Israeli government on a new free trade agreement and is summoning the Israeli ambassador to the United Kingdom.
That we have suspended negotiations with this Israeli government on a new free trade agreement. We will be reviewing cooperation with them under the 2030 bilateral roadmap. The Netanyahu's government's actions have made this necessary. Madam Deputy Speaker, today, my honourable friend, the Minister for the Middle East, is summoning the Israeli ambassador to the Foreign Office to convey this message.
US Secretary of State Marco Rubio on Tuesday insisted that the country is not withdrawing from the world as he batted away criticism of cuts to aid and diplomatic budgets from former colleagues in Congress. During a congressional hearing, Rubio had a tense exchange with Democratic Senator Chris Van Hollen, who expressed regret over previously supporting Rubio. In response, Rubio defended his performance, asserting that he is effectively fulfilling his duties.
And I have to tell you directly and personally that I regret voting for you for Secretary of State. I yield back.
Well, first of all, your regret for voting for me confirms I'm doing a good job.
U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio stated on Tuesday that he has likely revoked thousands of visas and believes further action is still necessary. The Trump administration has cancelled hundreds of visas nationwide, even affecting some lawful permanent residents, using a 1952 law that permits the deportation of any immigrant the Secretary of State considers a threat to U.S. foreign policy.
I don't know the latest count, but we probably have more to do. Probably in the thousands at this point. The visa is not a right, it's a privilege.
U.S. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth said in a memo that the Pentagon will conduct a comprehensive review of the U.S. withdrawal from Afghanistan in 2021. In a memo, Hegseth said that after 3 months of reviewing the withdrawal, a comprehensive review was needed to ensure accountability for this event. In a statement accompanying the memo, he said Pentagon spokesperson and senior advisor Sean Parnell would lead the review. U.S. Central Command, which oversees operations in the Middle East, has also carried out an investigation into the Islamic State attack that killed 13 U.S. troops and dozens of Afghans during the last few days of the withdrawal. European Union foreign ministers on Tuesday agreed to lift economic sanctions on Syria, offering the nation another critical lifeline after the ouster of Bashar al-Assad. Bloc's foreign policy chief Kaja Kallas said that European Union has always stood by Syrians throughout the last 14 years and will keep on doing so. The European Union's top diplomat also said that there would be a review of EU's trade agreement with Israel amid the situation in Gaza. The European Union's policy shift comes after President Donald Trump said last week he would order the lifting of U.S. sanctions on Syria. Syria's Foreign Minister Asad al-Shaibani thanked the EU on Tuesday, saying the decision would bolster Syria's security and stability. United Kingdom and Europe have announced major sanctions against Russia on Tuesday without waiting for Washington to join them, as it became clear that Monday's call between US President Donald Trump and Russian President Vladimir Putin have failed to deliver any meaningful concessions from Moscow. London and Brussels said their new measures would zero in on Moscow's shadow fleet of oil tankers and financial firms that have helped it avoid the impact of other sanctions imposed over the conflict. Taking to the social media post, Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky said it is important that America remain involved in the process of bringing peace closer. Trump had indicated on Monday, following his call with Putin, that the US was not ready to join European sanction efforts. Meanwhile, Italian Prime Minister Giorgia Meloni said on Tuesday that Pope Leo had confirmed to her his willingness to host in the Vatican the next round of negotiations to try end the conflict. Responding to the new sanctions, Russian Foreign Ministry spokeswoman Maria Zakharova accused Europe of trying to prevent the resumption of direct dialogue, adding that Russia never responds to ultimatums.
Immediately after the talks between Russian and Ukrainian delegations in Istanbul, Zelensky and his European buddies spoke in favor of strengthening of the anti-Russian sanctions. Yet again, they started to sing the old song about impossibility to trust Russia, which should be punished, as they put it, for the failure to obey ultimatum demand about 30-day ceasefire, which Kiev regime and its European sponsors tried to present as a certain step towards settlement. Russia never responds to ultimatums.
Top finance ministers from the G7 nations gathered on Tuesday in Banff, Canada, to address global economic instability with the Ukraine war and US trade policies under President Donald Trump high on the agenda. Ukrainian Finance Minister Sergei Marchenko attended the talks, seeking increased pressure on Russia and support for Ukraine's reconstruction. Canadian Finance Minister Francois-Philippe Champagne emphasized solidarity with Ukraine, while US Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent faces scrutiny over tariffs and inflation risk. Although not officially on the agenda, trade tensions are expected to shadow the discussions. A final communique remains uncertain as members weigh different priorities, particularly US demands. A United States judge on Tuesday ordered the Trump administration to ensure that a group of migrants being flown to South Sudan remain in US immigration custody, citing concerns they may have been deported in violation of a court order. During an emergency virtual hearing, US District Judge Ryan Murphy in Boston stated that while he would not mandate the plane's return, the Department of Homeland Security could choose that option to comply with his directive. Murphy warned that officials could face criminal contempt charges if they were found to have breached his earlier order, which prohibited the rapid deportation of migrants to countries other than their own before they had a chance to present fears of torture or persecution. US immigration officials have deported at least 12 South Asian and Southeast Asian migrants to South Sudan, despite a court order blocking such removals, according to a Tuesday court filing. Lawyers say a Burmese man, NM, and a Vietnamese national, TTP, were among those sent to the war-torn nation. The removals violate prior legal interventions and come amid renewed civil conflict in South Sudan. The Department of Homeland Security has not commented. The move follows the Trump administration's tightening immigration policies, including visa bans and expedited deportations under wartime laws, sparking legal and humanitarian outcry. Several states across Central America are grappling with severe disruptions following a series of powerful tornadoes. According to the authorities, a recent tornado in Tennessee caused significant damage, including ripping roofs off homes and sending debris flying. The storm, with winds of up to 120 meters per hour, also uprooted trees, unleashed hail, and caused widespread power outages. An eyewitness footage captured a massive tornado swirling in the city of Athens, Alabama. Officials urged residents to seek shelter, preferably in underground safe rooms. As of Tuesday night, no injuries or fatalities have been reported. 7 young people were shot dead early on Monday in San Bartolo de Berrio, Mexico, after a Catholic church event. Gunmen opened fire in the village square, leaving a scene described by the locals as a bloodbath. Authorities suspect the Santa Rosa de Lima cartel that left threatening messages nearby. The region, plagued by violence between rival cartels, has Mexico's highest homicide rate. The attack, which is rare for targeting a church gathering, drew condemnation from religious leaders. Archbishop Jaime Calderon linked the killings to cartel turf wars. No arrests have been made and investigations into the massacre are ongoing. Moving on, SpaceX successfully launched 23 Starlink satellites aboard a new Falcon 9 booster late on Tuesday night from Cape Canaveral. Liftoff occurred late night following a 24-hour delay caused by an auto abort during the initial countdown. The booster is the fourth new one activated by SpaceX in 2025 and landed safely on the drone ship. Just read the instructions. Its 121st landing. Of the 23 satellites, 13 are equipped for direct-to-cell phone service. Deployment is expected roughly an hour into the flight. SpaceX now has 18 active boosters and continues expanding its Starlink network through regular satellite launches.
Stage 1 landing leg deploy.
And now let's get to business updates. Google on Tuesday unleashed another wave of artificial intelligence technology to accelerate a year-long makeover of its search engine that is changing the way people get information and curtailing the flow of internet traffic to the websites. Google CEO Sundar Pichai, speaking at the company's annual developers event, said Google's search engine would feature a new AI mode as he boasted that decades of research were reaching fruition with new technology. The search engine's nascent recent AI mode goes further than the already launched AI overviews that displays answers to queries from the tech giant's generative AI powers above the traditional blue links to website and ads. AI mode is being offered to all comers in the US just 2.5 months after the company began testing with a limited labs diffusion audience. Google is also feeding its latest AI model, Gemini 2.5, into its search algorithms and will soon begin testing other AI features such as the ability to automatically buy concert tickets and conduct searches through live video feeds. Nvidia CEO Jensen Huang said on Wednesday that US export controls on AI chips to China have failed, allowing local firms to develop competitive technology. Speaking at Taiwan's Computex Tech Show, Huang revealed Nvidia's share in China's AI chip market that has dropped from 95% to 50% since Biden administration's restrictions began. He said the controls boosted Chinese innovation, costing Nvidia billions. Huang warned the US risked missing out on China's projected $50 billion AI market by 2026. He also praised Chinese firm DeepSeek for massively increasing AI computing demand while raising concerns about global competition and data governance. You're watching DD India News Hour, and now it's time to get you all the latest from the world of sports, to begin with Khelo India Beach Games. And before that, shooting. Shooter Adrian Karmakar opened India's medal accounts at the ISSF Junior World Cup on Tuesday with a silver medal on debut in the 50-meter rifle prone event. The 20-year-old junior national champion missed out on gold by just 0.3 points to Sweden's Jesper Johansson. Adrian delivered a stellar performance, emerging as one of the earliest finishers in the event. Adrian aggregated 626.7, setting a new junior national record in the event. Among the other Indian contenders, Rohit Kanyan finished 12th, while Vedant Nitin Vakmare ended in the 35th position. And now updates from Khelo India Beach Games. Pearl the Dolphin is the official mascot of Khelo India Beach Games 2025. More than just a mascot, Pearl represents the vibrant marine culture of the EU and the unifying spirit of sports. From local spectators to national level athletes, everyone is praising the Dolphin, who has now become the face of the games. Here's more.
The official mascot of the Khelo India Beach Games is Pearl the Dolphin. This dolphin symbolizes the rich marine heritage of Diu. Dolphins can even be spotted near the Nagao beach in Diu. Pearl, the dolphin, has been placed at various locations across the venue and has become a major attraction during the beach games.
मुझे पर्ल डॉल्फिन बहुत अच्छा लगा और यहाँ पे आके बहुत अच्छा लगा।
यू फर्स्ट टाइम आए हैं और इधर आके हमें तो बहुत अच्छा लगा। ये बहुत क्लीन है एरिया और बीच के पास तो ऑलवेज मतलब सबको मजा आता है और डॉल्फिन बनाकर भी सब बच्चे बहुत खुश होते हैं, बड़े भी अच्छे खुश हो जाते हैं सबके साथ सेल्फी लेके, तो हम तो बहुत एंजॉय कर रहे हैं।
Having it as a mascot is a kind of pride for us because as we have been to national games as well, so having beach games at such a small place and a mascot like dolphin depicting the entire duty, so I think it's a matter of pride for us.
Not only is the dolphin visually appealing, but it also represents intelligence, energy, and a spirit of togetherness. These are the very qualities found in sports persons, making the dolphin a perfect mascot for the beach games.
Pearl the Dolphin is the mascot of Khelo India Beach Games. These beach games are an attempt to develop Diu as a tourist destination and a beach games destination. And Pearl the Dolphin is giving an invitation to everyone to come to Diu to enjoy the beautiful beaches and water sports. With camera person Ajit, this is Suchitra reporting for DD India in Diu.
And to get us more on this, I'm joined by Suchitra Street from Diu. Good morning, Suchitra. Now, when we talk about Pearl and we also see the development there in Diu, it speaks volumes for itself. Right from the developmental aspect of Diu to the sports prowess it is now becoming, how the games are transforming the nation, the land there. Suchitra.
Yes, Deepika, these games are going to change. We can see the landscape of Diu because those people who visited Diu few years ago, they can see a lot of changes. Last year, the beach games, the Diu beach games were held. It was a multi-sport beach games event, and now with the beach games coming under the umbrella of Khelo India, the magnitude is even bigger. And a lot of new hotels, eating joints, and a lot of new infrastructure is put in place to host these beach games. And we just spoke to Secretary Sports Daman and Diu, and he said, Dr. Arun, and he said that they have some legacy plans because they plan to host beach games every year in Diu with the beautiful beaches and the pleasant weather. As you can see here, it's raining right now. So looking at the weather, the beach events, they are held for 2 or 3 hours in the morning and then 2 or 3 hours in the evening. So the spectators and the players, they can enjoy the pleasant weather, the beautiful beaches. And of course, beach games are a little new, we can say, for Indian players, for Indian spectators. And we can just say that, India keeps marching ahead step by step in water sports, in beach games, because if we have to become a sporting superpower in 2047, then we have to widen our arena. We have to participate in as many sport disciplines as possible, and water sports are definitely a bright future for Indian players. Deepika.
Sports aren't free today. Yeah, can you get my audio?
Yes, Deepika.
Which other sports aren't free today?
Yes, in the morning there were some pool matches played of soccer, and few teams made it to the semi-finals. And in the evening also there will be some soccer matches, and the semi-final lineup will be decided tomorrow. The soccer semi-finals will be played, and also the beach kabaddi pool matches will be there. Right now the group stage, the pool stage is going on in most of the matches. So be it soccer, beach volleyball and kabaddi, there will be pool matches. And in the morning there was the open water swimming, the 10-kilometer race. That event is finished, and also the demonstration sports, Malakham and tug of war, they are attracting a lot of spectators. So even though there are no medals at stake, but the viewers, the spectators are really enjoying watching tug of war and Malakham by the beach.
All right, thank you so much, Suchitra, for joining us from the UN, bringing us the latest on Khelo India Beach Games. And that's all for this edition of DD India News Hour, but do let us know your thoughts on the news of the day. For those on the go, you can get all the latest news and updates from India and across the world on DD India mobile app. The app is available on both Android and iOS platforms. Scan the QR code on the screen to download it right now. We'll be back with more news as it breaks here on DD India. I'm Deepika, and from all of us here in New Delhi, thank you so much for watching DD India News Hour. Namaskar.